Il cantiere Ranieri è uno dei più importanti in
The
Italia.
Ranieri shipyard is one of the most important in Italy for their construction of water vessels up to 10 metres long, and about a year ago they began the design and construction of about 10 inflatable dinghies from 6 different hulls.
Questo sviluppo e gli investimenti ad esso legati
This development and the investment related to it are undoubtedly remarkable when you consider that the series consists of both medium and large-sized dinghies, like this model, the Cayman 28 Sport Touring. Typically, the most popular inflatable dinghies are those that measure between 5 and 6 metres. Dinghies of 7 metres are more comprehensive, but if there was no budget limit, then you definitely want to go for a dinghy that measures between 8 and 9 metres. Why? Because they are great for navigating, but also for other reasons.
In genere una carena di queste dimensioni non si trova in difficoltà sul mare. La coperta ha
A
spazio.
hull of this size is generally not rare to see on the water. The deck has enough space for an entire family to be on board, and it's designed to house a double engine. Oh, and I almost forgot, the size is actually just a limit for transport on a road trailer.
Guardatelo e
Look at it and tell me if it's not perfect. The cockpit at the stern has everything you need for a great day at sea. The lounge area spreads out along the 3 sides of the cockpit to accommodate at least 5 people. It can also be completely protected from the sun by a canopy that resides behind the back of the crown, located aft of the pilot's seat in the kitchen, with a sink and a space for a grill and a fridge. The sunbathing area at the bow is quite large and can be extended at any time. Storage is plentiful and can be used to keep all sorts of equipment and water toys, anything you need to enjoy a pleasant day at sea. Below the deck is a little room that can be fitted as a bathroom. The pilot's seat is anatomical, built for 2 people. The padding is not very soft, yet the positioning is optimal.
la postazione di pilotaggio però è
Thanks to the locations of the helm, throttle and platform, which help the pilot easily find the right location while steering. I also like the dashboard, even if I don't quite understand why the hi-fi is in the foreground, while the instruments are back there, distant and less readable.
Per spingere questo gommone basterebbe un solo fuoribordo, ma un battello di queste dimensioni in realtà non ha limiti.
While one single outboard engine would be enough to drive this boat, in truth, a boat of this size has no limits, believe me. With a little experience, careful preparation for navigation, observation of the meteorological forecast, and enough water and fuel on board, you could take fantastic cruises and long travel journeys. And, well, if you have the spirit of adventure, better 2 engines than 1.
Quei motori là a poppa hanno
Those engines back there have a total output of 400 horsepower.
Il battello mi pare ben bilanciato nonostante la potenza.
The boat seems well balanced despite the weight of the engines. But in reality, these are the new Suzuki 200 horsepower, weighing 226 kilos each, 31 kilos less than the equally powerful V6 engine.
La risposta è brillante anche ai bassi regimi perché questo è un motore
The
tecnologico.
feedback is amazing, even at low revs. This is a high-tech engine. It has 4 valves per cylinder, driven by a dual overhead camshaft with hydraulically tensioned chain and variable valve timing that Suzuki calls VVT, which serves to give maximum torque power at all speeds.
È così che si ottiene il miglior.
That's how you get the best performance, even while accelerating.
Questo motore inoltre ha 3 importanti caratteristiche.
The engine, moreover, has 3 important characteristics: the lean burn, the transmission shaft, axially offset from the motor shaft, and finally, the electromechanical inversion of the propeller's direction of rotation. It's thanks to this device, present on motors marked with the initials AP, that you can install two identical outboard engines and can counter-rotate one of the two by simply changing an electrical predisposition. Very convenient. And that way the engines are also more easily interchangeable.
Osservando attentamente la scia anche a bassa velocità si vede che
If we look carefully at the trail here, even at a low speed, you can see that the platform does not interfere. The tubes don't plough the water, creating that drag effect that would slow us down. And the outboard engines are at the right height. I can hear them cavitating, even if they are installed 5 centimeters higher than normal.
diamo un po' di gas.
Let's increase the speed to verify that all of this also applies to other speeds. The minimum planing speed is very low, 10 knots.
Portando I motori a 3.500.
Bringing the engines to 3,500 RPM, we reach about 25 knots. I've not yet adjusted the trim. I do not feel the need. I feel that the axis of the keel is completely immersed, but is also parallel to the surface, and therefore is at the best situation for the highest level of comfort, even though perhaps it is not the most efficient. Well then, I'll try lifting the trim just a little bit.
Senza toccare il gas, I motori hanno
Without touching the gas, the engines have accelerated to 4,000 revs a minute. This is because the resistance of the hulls decreased. Basically, it glides better on the water.
I motori con lo stesso carburante.
With the same amount of fuel, the engines managed to increase their output and speed. We're at 28 knots. These 200 horsepower Suzuki engines must have good grit because as the speed increases, you can definitely hear it. Even though it doesn't seem like it because the effect of the camera deceives, in reality the waves are touching at least 70 centimeters in height. However, the vehicle does not seem bothered by it. I know I'm not. Are you, Gigi? Even the cameraman is at ease. Well then, let's hit it and go full throttle.
Ecco, questa mi sembra la condizione.
Here we are. This seems to be the best condition for sailing with this inflatable dinghy. 35 knots at 4,800 revs a minute. Why is this the best condition? Because I feel that it's gliding really well, as demonstrated by the fact that the wake detaches from the hull at the aft, which seems to be the position at which I find myself now. Basically, the stern of the hull should be completely immersed, while naturally at the bow, only the most centralized parts of the hull should be in the water. Let's make a few turns at high speed to see what happens with this watercraft. To know how, I have to control it if later I push it to the maximum.
Quando si hanno a disposizione due motori.
When you are using two engines, the helm is more precise and much quicker. This is because you have two propellers and two motor fins that communicate the route to the boat. Do you hear that roar? I do. That's the two Suzuki 200 horsepowers, and I'm pushing them to the max.
Ho dato trim.
I gave a bit of trim. Now we're jumping. Well, that's thanks to the waves.
Wow!
44 knots.
Si controlla bene, ma ricordatevi che
This boat has good control, but remember that everything depends on the conditions of the sea.
a disposizione un battello grande e potente come questo, e anche se avete esperienza,
Even if you have a boat as grand and powerful as this one, even if you have experience, well, the waves can make all the difference. So enjoy it, have fun, but safely, with caution and a kill cord attached at all times. We'll see you next time.